doing green beans with garlic and onions. It always seems like one of the favorite things that people put in green beans is bacon or bacon fat. And so I'm going to try and do something that will kind of give that hint of that without actually using the bacon fat. So we're going to use a tablespoon of olive oil. And again, we want a nice flavored olive oil because we're going to get a lot of flavor from that since we don't have the flavor coming from somewhere else, as in pork products. Now to that, I've got a tablespoon here. It should be heating up, and I'm going to test it here with a little piece of onion. I've got a half a cup of onion that I've sliced fairly thin. And I'm going to saute that in our olive oil about 2 minutes. We want it to start turning golden, but we don't want it to go too far. Now I'm actually skipping a step for you. I've done it ahead of time. What I've done is I've got 3 to 4 cups of fresh green beans, about a pound or so, and I have blanched them by putting them, well, a little bit more than blanched. They're actually partly cooked. I put them in a big pot of salted water and I let them cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how tender the beans are to start with and how you like them when they're done. So you should probably want a little bit of snap to them. So then you're going to take them out of that hot water and immerse them in ice water to stop the cooking. Now you can do that up to 2 days ahead. So if you're cooking green beans for another reason, you can do these at the same time and save yourself a little bit of effort for later in the week or later in the weekend. If you're entertaining friends over the holiday, for instance, you don't want to be in the kitchen the whole time, you can have the green beans cooked and ready to go so that you don't have much effort when it's time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add the next ingredient to our onions. I've sliced them in sort of rings. This onion wasn't going to volunteer to actually be rings very much, but we just want them a little bit golden. We don't want them brown a lot. And to that, I'm going to add 2 large garlic cloves, either sliced really thin or chopped. I'm just going to let that cook real briefly. And then I'm going to add the green beans. Now, because these green beans are cold, we cooked them ahead of time. It's going to take a little bit longer for them to heat back up. If you had cooked them and chilled them right after you cooked them and then started making the dish, they may not have gotten chilled quite as much, so you wouldn't have to cook them as long. So you're just going to have to test them and see when they're heated through. Now, at the same time you add the green beans, we're going to add 1/3 of a cup of almonds. Now, I've not toasted these almonds ahead of time, even though almonds taste better when they're toasted, because they're going to toast while we're cooking the green beans. And the last thing I'm going to add to this is what's going to make it give that hint of smoky flavor that the bacon would have provided, and that's a little bit of smoked paprika. Now be sure you stir that through thoroughly so that everybody gets that hint of smoke, not just the one person or the 2 people who happen to get that part of the pot. Now we probably have not reduced the fat content a lot on this dish compared to if we'd used bacon, because we did use a tablespoon of vegetable oil early on, and we've added nuts. But we have changed the profile of the fat that we're using here from one that's got a lot of saturatedness to it to one that's either monounsaturated, primarily a little bit of polyunsaturated. So it's a very helpful kind of fat that we've replaced the bacon with, and we've still got that smoky flavor. We're going to say that these are heated through. Transfer these to a plate or a platter, and you're ready for a really nice side dish for the holidays or any other day during the week. I hope you'll try this one. It's green beans with garlic and almonds. For Oklahoma Gardening, I'm Barbara Brown.